All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Uh, Greetings, YouTubers. It's Friday. Hey, Gene, I'm doing well. Hopefully, you're doing well too. Um, yeah, it's Friday, so we're gonna. It's a little more of a discussion format today, I guess. We're live on the call-in app. You can call in all day, all the live long day, and we're live on Rockfin. What's up, Rockfinnauts, Rockfinners? Greetings, salutations. Just getting going. All right. Oh yeah, thanks. You like my shirt? My daughter made it for me. It's pretty cute. I like it too. Um, yeah. So we're just gonna talk about this and that today. But first of all, I did get some after hours tips, so I just wanted to shout out the people that tipped me. Zach gave me a tip during the show yesterday. I don't need that. And then tipped me again and said, with all the money, influence, and power, their solid effort, and I think he's talking about they, them, the vampire squid or whatever you want to call it. All the money, influence, and power, their solid efforts to confuse and divide the population. They have one gaping hole in their armor, the military. That's something impossible to justify, and everyone across the planet, propagandized, Americans included, see it. It just so happens to be the largest contributor to pollution and climate. Leaders can focus there instead of prison camp to prove serious. Yeah, and good point, Zach, right. If they were serious in their, we got to do something about that climate. If they were serious about that, they'd probably, they would address that. But that's a hard one to address because it's like, well, we have to have the military because, oh my God, if we didn't have the military and all the military, then, the mongrel hordes, all the crazies from the other countries are going to come get us. It's hard to get people to actually see that if you make a peaceful action first, right? If you lead with peace, or if you lead with de-escalation, or if you lead with disarmament, the other party is way more likely to go, that looks good. I think we can do that too. But the people that are drawn to leadership roles don't think like that. You get to those positions of power by being deceitful and cunning and Machiavellian and distrustful, and right. So once you get that, your mind is already gone. Your mind can't even conceive. It's like you can't even process the idea of like, wait, you're actually making a compassionate human gesture. What is that? I don't even recognize what that is. There's a lot of just regular people that operate like that too. What? You're just being like honest and truthful and just and authentic. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what that feels like. Oh my God, it must be a trap. It must be a trick. I swear to God, being authentic will freak people out more than anything. That's why jerks get so far in the world, because you can see a jerk coming from a mile away, but everything. You know exactly what they're about, And right, people are geared to like, but a lot of people, not saying everyone, I'm not saying everyone. There are a lot of authentic, good-hearted people out there. But there are a lot of people that operate like that don't even recognize what authentic feels like. And that's unfortunate because what a horrible existence. Oh, I got another. Let me mention another tip too. I got some after hours tips yesterday. Regan or Reagan Parenton gave me a tip. Bought a couple coffees. Says incredible show today. Incredible show every day. Very, very few are reporting the reality of things as you and I do. We both cover the same news about climate most of the time. Your show is much more audience driven, which I admire, while mine is just published videos. The proud, the few, the mighty. We're in this. All right, thank you, Regan. I appreciate it. Anyways, we're just going to talk about random things today. Again, call-in app. If you want to call in, feel free. What are we going to talk about? I'll bring some things up, and we can just I'll just go through some items. From Mark Bevis, the O word appears in The Guardian. The O word. The dreaded O word. The future of life on Earth depends on the curbing of overpopulation. Pretty straight to the point. Creative Experiment says, someone tell the Democrats the climate has already changed. True story. Yeah, it's real. Our the destruction of the planet is human driven, absolutely. And you put more people needing more things and extracting, using more stuff and buying more things and needing more energy and oil and all that stuff. What do we want? Planet destruction. When do we want it? Immediately, if not sooner. Say what? G. Demarest Canada banned all gun sales? Get out of here. No. Well, hold on. I'll have to go find that. That is pretty major. It's pretty major. Anyways, let's finish talking about this. Anyways, this is just, math, physics, science, inputs and outputs. This is not eugenicist or racist or Malthusian or crazy or kooky to talk about. We're talking about it. Talking about it doesn't imply that you immediately want to go kill some people. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean you're in league with Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab. That's not what it means. It means that there's a real problem and we should talk about it. Let's be the owners of the issue and have, real compassionate, thoughtful discussion about it. So we can take, the people that want to do the evil around overpopulation, they're the only ones talking about it because you're not supposed to talk about it, right? Everybody else is, oh my God, you're talking about this. How dare you? Well, If you don't talk about it, you're leaving the discussion in the hands of the psychopaths. So, good job. Because they certainly don't have an issue talking about it, and they certainly don't have an issue doing the bad, having the bad ideas around it. And if you insist on not talking about it or demonizing anybody who does talk about it, then you're going to ensure that they're the only ones that ever, have any designs around it. I don't know. I find it a weird thing that people can't talk about this. But it's there are so many, again, data, observational data, just being out in the world and just looking at what humans do to the environment, right? Just like, and it is a we problem. No, well, if we got rid of the military, well, if only the rich would stop it. Look at, man. First of all, going back to Reagan's point, the military is not going to stop itself. It's not going to look at itself and go, oh, we did bad. The rich people are not going to stop themselves. They're not going to look at themselves and go, oh, look what we're doing. That's bad. We'll change our ways. They're not going to do that. Who's going to stop them? You are. So every time I hear somebody say, well, they're trying to make it our fault. Well, every time I hear somebody say that, a dunce gets its cap. It doesn't matter whether it's your fault. You're the only one that's going to fix it. We are the only people that are going to fix it or change it. But, this is a very short article, but they just bring up good point. Leading scientists state that the huge scale of human-driven loss of species demands urgent action. They are right. But the article, this is a letter to The Guardian. The article fails to reference a key driver of biodiversity loss, the continuing unsustainable growth of our own human population, and the need to address it, among other factors, to reverse the trend. We are using up the renewable resources of 1.7 Earths. I think that's a year. Yeah, that's a year. Every year we use way more than the Earth can regenerate for itself. If things don't change, we'll need 3 by 2050. As more of us demand more from nature, we worsen already catastrophic biodiversity loss, accelerating water scarcity, pollution, and deforestation. At current rates, our planet doesn't have enough to support our burgeoning numbers, let alone sustaining all other species. That's another case in point. Wow, wild populations of animals gone way down by 70%. Human population going way up to 8 billion. I wonder what's going on there. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with 8 billion people on the planet. Oh, I don't know. Wild populations of species have gone down 70%. Snow crabs, 8 billion snow crabs disappeared from the Arctic. Fish are disappearing from the ocean. No, there's no problem with 8 billion people. Okay. All right. I don't know. What's going on? At current rates, our planet doesn't have enough to support our burgeoning numbers, blah, blah, blah. Solutions to population are proven, affordable, and available. Let us talk about this. Women's empowerment, universal quality education, accessible healthcare, and fairer shares of our world's resources. What's lacking is the honesty to acknowledge this elephant in the room and the commitment to act. Very good. Very good. Short, to the point, makes the point. I like it. None of those solutions involve a depopulation agenda. None of those solutions involve, sneaking deadly vaccines into children. None of those solutions involve, culling the populations of people you don't like. None of those solutions, nobody's talking about that. That's not what anybody is saying. Don't put those words into people's mouths when they don't say them. That is disingenuous. That is gaslighting. Don't if you're against gaslighting by people in power, don't be a gaslighter yourself. Please don't do that. And the fair, going back to my original point, or a point I made earlier, fairer shares of our world's resources. Again, fairer share, a fair share of the world's resources, sounds like socialism to me, is not going to happen when the wealthy are not going to go, you know what I think we should do? I think we should share the wealth. Like, that's not what they're going to do. So again, they're trying to make it our problem. Yeah, I guess it's your problem, because either you fix it or it keeps on going. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, let's look up the story. I want to look up the story because that's crazy. I mean, that's pretty large. So let's see. Is it? I don't know. I don't see it. I think they're trying to ban some. They're trying to ban handguns. They banned new handgun sales an hour ago. Okay. I see it. I see it. I don't know if that's all. That's not all guns. Canada bans new handgun sales in the latest gun control action. We have frozen the market for handguns in this country. Well, that's pretty major. I think, a lot of people would have a problem with that. Gene says, so you can still buy a shotgun. Sure. I guess that's what it means. I guess you could buy rifles, shotguns, sport guns. Where else do they ban handguns? I mean, in the UK, they don't sell handguns, right? And what, in Australia? Is it true in Australia that they don't? I'm not sure about the law in Australia. I know that they have banned a lot of gun sales in Australia, but I'm not sure if it's like all guns. Anyways, that's pretty big. I'm sure some people are upset about that, and I'm sure people in the U.S. are like, "You'll have to come get my guns." Richard Hendrick says, a small but loyal group here on Rockfin. Good to see that. Yeah, and then the viewers pick up after I get off of YouTube. It tends to bump the numbers up on Rockfin. I really urge everyone to go watch the show on Rockfin. You don't even need to make an account, but if you want to make an account, if you even want to pay for a subscription so you can get like premium content and whatnot on Rockfin and endorse my channel, that's a cool way to support the channel. Let's keep going. Anyways, we're kind of open-ended today as far as conversations goes. Colin, the chat is open, or the line is open on Colin all day. It's for Friday. We're kind of just chilling, talking about whatever. I do want to talk about one thing, or I want to play one video clip, but I can't play it on YouTube, so probably towards the end of the show, I'll jump off to play that. Did you guys hear about this story? I wanted to cover this yesterday, and then I heard AM Wake Up talking about it today. The story of this guy this journalist that got disappeared. It's pretty frightening. James Gordon Meek. He was finishing up a book about Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. He's been charged with no crime, abruptly resigned from his job, and nobody has seen him since. That's chilling, isn't it? Since April, by the way. He's been missing since April. Nobody's seen him since April. I mean, this isn't the first time that a journalist in the U.S. has been, I don't know what, dealt with, I guess. It's a few instances, like in Michael Hastings, that was his name, I think. His car magically lost control and ran into a tree in Hollywood. There was, oh man, why can't I remember the guy that did the uncovered the Iran-Contra stuff. He worked for San Jose news outlet. What was his name? I can't remember. He was either driven to suicide or Gary Webb. Thank you. I knew his name started with a G, but I just couldn't come to it. But Gary Webb. Michael Rupert is a good. I mean, he was driven. He was very outspoken against the government and things that went on and the intelligence communities, and he was driven to suicide, and some people have ideas about that. So this is a very, quite scary story. But not getting a lot of coverage. So that's why I'm covering it. And hopefully, I mean, there's an article in the Rolling Stone, so obviously it's getting coverage in the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone is a fairly big publication. So, based on this story alone, I'm sure a lot more, more people are going to be like, I wonder what happened to that guy. I wonder what's going, or a lot more people are going to go, yeah, man, maybe journalism isn't for me. Maybe I should do something else with my time. Like make rope. Saw a cool video on Twitter today about making rope. It was very interesting. But, maybe making rope is a good way to spend your time. I don't know. Poppy Davis says maybe he went into hiding. Yeah. No, Gene, it was not for that. It was not for the... It was, I mean, I think he was saying things they didn't like. But, maybe you're implying that they... that's another way to do it, right? You could... Oh, look what we found on your computer. Oh, that is very telling. We're gonna, that Julian Assange. Had some smears, an actual court case brought against him, and he was acquitted. Because it was super duper flimsy. But they tried it. They did try it. They're like, what can we get on this guy? We don't like this guy. What is it that we... Oh. Scott Ritter, Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning. Yeah, thanks for Aaron Schwartz. Aaron Schwartz. That's a good one. Duncan Lemp. I don't know who Duncan Lemp is. I should know who Duncan Lemp is, right? Aaron Schwartz. That's a more recent tragedy. Smithers. Didn't he have a girlfriend? Let's go talk to the girlfriend. Anyways, that is interesting. Did y'all see? Well, let's take a break here. We'll check on the coffees. Anybody buy me a coffee? In the earlier part of the show, no. Checking on the Rocky Finn tips, no. Not yet. Founder of Reddit. Oh, is that who? Duncan Lemp? Is that was his name? Was that Duncan Lemp? Was he the founder of Reddit? How far Reddit has fallen? Okay. Well, let's keep going then. Good way to support the show. buymeacoffee.com/Black Bear News. Rockfin tips are cool too. Oh, Schwartz founded Reddit. That's right. Sorry. You're right. RSS syndication, that's right. Yes. Sorry. Forgot about that. Duncan Lemp was murdered by cops who shot him from outside his bedroom window while he and his girlfriend slept in their bed. Huh. Huh. Yeah. Scott Ritter. Yeah. Okay. What are we looking at here? Did you all see the thing? AOC got it again from some protesters. AOC, and then Ayanna Presley. Did anybody see? What's this link? Cole on Colin is giving me a link. I didn't mean that to happen. I love Garland Nixon, but I wasn't really trying to listen to him right now. Oh, I can't see this, Cole. U.S. to boost gas exports to Germany under deal with. Oh, well, isn't that handy? Isn't that handy? That isn't it handy that the thing got blowed up, the Nord Stream got blowed up, and then another pipeline came online like the day after, and then yeah, okay. What's up? All right, let's take this call from Cole. How you doing? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I remember you. I'm sorry. I got your name wrong.
It's okay. No, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't apologize.
I couldn't see. I couldn't see very well. Small print.
No, because you know what? It happens like it goes like very. It doesn't stand out the name. Yeah, it happens to me as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I've been like trying to say this, and because I've been hearing here for like journalists that I trust that the U.S. been exporting gas, which make a lot of sense if the prices are going up. Like that is like what happens if you export. But I heard that some environmental started announcing that were also boosting the production of gas, right? Instead of Europeans or whoever like starting to go to more cleaner energies. So they were starting extracting more also in order to, so you're not only going to get the prices higher, but they're
Mm.
also exporting in, those boats that liquid gas.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so they are like exporting like for a month already. They've been doing this through Spain, and the thing is that I haven't. It's the first that I find really in that I can that is not in Spanish news. Like that.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to send it just to
I got
because
it.
it's kind of a really funny thing. So just that
I got it. Well, what I need to do is
to put it out there.
yeah, thank you. What I need to
Okay.
do, I'm going to send this cuz it has a paywall on it, but I have a way to read it. So I'm going to
Oh
send
no, there's a video. I put this one because I cannot go into YouTube, but it's
all good.
Financial Times. So
All
if you
good.
do like if you Google in YouTube put and
Mhm.
and the same and there's a video with yeah, because I don't
Got
have
it.
the paywall.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for sending that. I appreciate it.
No, no, no. Thank you for being open to it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Sayla. Um mm, I think I actually got this. U.S. to boost gas exports to Germany under deal with ENBW. Venture Global expanded 20-year contract. Whoops. What happened there? No. Wait. I have it here. Here we go. I was confused. So Venture Global expanded 20-year contract, a sign of revived LNG market as buyers avoid Russia. No. Maybe it is all about oil. Well, let's cut the legs off of Russia with the oil market. And oh, look, we're going to supply the natural gas. Wow. Look at that. How convenient. The newest U.S. exporter of liquefied natural gas has signed a deal to increase exports to Germany, one of a flurry of sales to Europe, amid a scramble to replace Russian energy supplies. Venture Global said on Thursday it would expand a 20-year contract with German utility ENBW by 500,000 tons of LNG a year to 2 million tons. U.S. companies have executed about 47 million annual tons of sale and purchase agreements with various countries this year. Wow. So U.S. companies have seen a windfall. Whoa. That is very coincidental. Wow. That's amazing for them. Amazing for them. LNG is a central part of Germany's plans to cut Russian gas supplies, which accounted for 55% of total imports before Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. It has recently chartered 5 specialized vessels that will allow imports by sea. Until the invasion of Ukraine, Germany was planning to import more fuel from Russia via the Nord Stream 2 pipeline under the Baltic Sea, which magically grew a leak. Those plans have been suspended. Venture Global's deal with the ENBW is the only long-term LNG contract locked in between Germany and the U.S. Other German companies, including Uniper and RWE, have signed earlier stage deals to import U.S. LNG. So they are also importing, these other companies, the U.S. gas. Venture shipments would begin in 2026. It's kind of far away. From the exporter's planned Plaquemines. I don't know how you pronounce that word. I've seen that word before, that name. Plaquemines or Plaquemines. It's CP2 plants in Louisiana. But they're ramping it up. They're putting it online. They're cranking up the refineries. Interesting. Well, thank you, Celia. I appreciate that. That is interesting news. Puts a little credence on the it's all about oil theory, doesn't it? All right, I was about to talk about AOC. She got whacked again, and she kind of lost it. She kind of was losing it a little bit. I don't know if y'all seen these. Hold on, trying getting the sound. Trying to getting the sound. Here we go. So she's at another event, and the people are chanting, AOC has got to go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think her run of being a progressive champion for the people, do you think that's about to end? I mean, when you got crowds coming out to berate you for being a fraud and a phony and a fake, PHAKE fake, and they're also coming out to berate. Did you all see the Ayanna Pressley video too? People were asking her about supporting BDS, and they really stayed on her until they got her to kind of freak out a little bit. She started freaking out a little bit. She's like, "Hey," it's like they're all frauds, by the way. So, just so you know. Anyways, let's watch this.
Very classy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That is a bad look. That's a bad look. That is a bad look. That is a your career is done. Done and dusted. That's a bad look. When you're like people came to heckle you down, and your response is to dance and laugh like it's funny. You're done. You are done. You are toast. Yeah, her behavior is dismissive. She's mocking them. It's a bad look. That is a I hope what? I'm reading some Rockfin chats. Denver Attaway says, I think AOC is a failed actress. Pretty much. But it's a bad, it's a bad look for her, and it's a bad look. The Democrats, oh, man, you cannot be, I don't think you can be much more out of touch right now than, what did I do? I don't even know what I did when I was mimicking AOC dancing. I just did it. I'm not sure what I was doing. I can't repeat it because I don't know what I was doing. She was just like, but yeah, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. And when people start showing up to your events to give you the, give you what for, and Ayanna Pressley included, right? When you're starting, when the when the veil is lifting and your cover is blown, yeah. And the Democrats on the whole not looking good. I just don't know. And they also think, they're still like, we come on everybody, we can take back, we can take over they have, it's a tie, right, in the Senate. And they have the House at the moment, but they think that they're going to make gains. That's how out of touch they are. They think they're going to make gains. It's going to be a bloodbath. They are going down about as hard as they can possibly go down on a midterms. It's not looking good. But that's just yeah. Denver says Democrats out of touch, like passing Obamacare and bailing out the banks and pretending you helped people, then get demolished in the midterms by the Tea Party. Yeah, that's kind of how it's going. Kind of how it's going. And it's, looking like it's going to repeat that particular event. Looks like it's going to repeat. I mean, it's the mocking. It's not just that they, they're in trouble, but their answer to being in trouble is to be like, we got this. It's like, and like, well, you guys, you think you're going to win? It's taunting, it's the taunting and the mocking and the hubris of the Democrats that's like just hammering that nail just a little farther today. All right, let's keep going. Oh, this is great. This Vandana Shiva. She's talking about the WEF and talking about Klaus Schwab and their particular attempts to, help people fight climate change. She's talking about climate change. And here she goes. Yeah, that's good. Hold on. I want to read this real quick from Denver before I play this. You're finishing your thought, which was the end of the supermajority of Democrats under Obama, which was the plan. So maybe the mocking, you're right. The plan is to have the uniparty forever seem like they're fighting each other, but they're all doing the bidding. Each party is doing the bidding of the vampire squid, if you will. Right? So, they're kind of like, well, it doesn't matter. We get paid either way. If I lose my seat in office, who cares? I'll get a cushy job on the board of Raytheon and everything's fine. Right? Like, I'm not worried. I already got my money. Right? So, like Liz Truss gets a pension, like 115,000 pounds a year for being prime minister for 6 weeks, right? And that's why she was like, I'm out. Bye, guys. She was like, I got my 115 grand a year. I'm good. Have fun. Toodles. I got paid and I got my entree into, the halls of power. So if AOC loses her job as a congresswoman, it won't really matter. She'll get another job as a lobbyist or something. But she's not doing, all of this in the end is ultimately going to really upset people And you know, again, when you do the things that you think are, oh man, I think I don't have the correct link for this Vandana Shiva thing. Hold on. I got to go back to Twitter. Okay, here it is. Here's another good. Okay, hold on. I want to back up. I'm gonna play this video because while we're on the subject of Democrats, this is from JB Font. The people, we are dying because we have no housing or health care. The Democratic Party. I don't know if you guys can see this. That's funny. All right, let's go. Let's go to this from Vandana Shiva. Well, she's also, so she's talking about the WEF. She's talking about social credit scores. She's talking about the digitalization of money and that whole thing that they're trying to do. And then I'll play this and then we'll jump off. And I want to play one more thing that I can't play on YouTube. So we'll jump off YouTube after this for the last 10 minutes of the show or whatever. All right.
With a cashless society, the social credit system will come for everyone.
And if you notice, my country was the first where they made cash illegal. 2016, digitalization was forced in the country. 8 o'clock in the evening announced midnight, cash was illegal, the big notes. And 70% of the economy crashed. This digitalization is now going all over the world, and there's a war on cash. They call it war on cash. Because cash is merely a medium of exchange. It has no value in itself. It's just a promise. You read the dollar note, it says, I promise to pay the bearer. When it's digital, even a credit card, you're giving rents to the global financial system. But when it's cryptocurrency in the hands of algorithms, in the hands of big tech, they will do what is happening in China. Create social credit system to decide a new caste system. And you might have also followed that while all this has been happening, the founder of the World Economic Forum did a book called The Great Reset on how to deal with the COVID crisis. And everything we're seeing unfold is part of that Great Reset. But an element of that Great Reset is you will own nothing. Now, I'm a believer in the commons. And it would be so good if all land was a commons, if all seed was a commons, if food was a commons, if health was a commons, so that we had strong public health systems, strong community health system.
I'm going to stop right there and just say, like, bravo. She's pointing out the difference between, right? Like, if it was the commons, if everything belonged to the commons, you would not own anything, but it would be the commons. It would be open and accessible and attainable to everyone. But she's going to tell you what they mean by
knowledge about big health. But when Paul Schwab says you will own nothing, he's saying we'll own it all. That's why you have Gates not just owning the seed, wanting to own our food. One, of course, controls the health, and now owning land. This, if ever there was a time for humanity to wake up, now is the time.
good stuff. And while we're at it, I'll play this other. While we're at it, we'll play this other clip. Last 5 minutes of the show will be on Rockfin and call-in only. Okay, because I want to play one more clip. I cannot play it on YouTube. However, or I'm worried about playing it on YouTube. Maybe I can. So this is she's talking about what they have in China. This is what they have in China.
Where she goes,
Okay, here we go.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens.
这个是针对
Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse. Huang Huijun lost a court case and didn't pay. Now he's on a government blacklist.
比如说
I can't buy airplane or train tickets, he says, and the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job or put kids in top schools. The social credit system will go nationwide next year, and few here are willing to criticize it. Something that may pose a risk itself for a bad score and the life that comes with it. Janice Mackey Frere, NBC.
Of course. Yeah, that doesn't look very fun. That looks lame. That doesn't look good at all. All right. I'm about to go. I'm going to play one more clip that I thought was interesting. There were many clips in here. Maybe I'll have to... A lot of things I'm going to have to bring back tomorrow. Oh, it's right here. All right, YouTubers, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to finish the rest of the 5 minutes of the show. 10 minutes on Rockfin. So peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.